Welcome back to another episode of Father Mick's Magic, exploring the mysteries of life and faith through the gift of magic. Okay, now we're going to sort of do a little mystery of connection and the difference it makes when you connect, especially for me when you connect to God. So what I've got here is two ropes tied together. Obviously, you can't separate them. Ned, I will just throw the ropes to you, and I invite you to come up the front and help me out with this trick. Okay, what I want you to do is, first of all, stretch the ropes, make sure they're not elastic, they're just normal ropes, okay? And what I want you to do is undo the ropes, just undo them. Okay, and who is going to select that? Yeah, select one of the colours, either the yellow or the pink.
Yellow.
Okay, undo the pink as well. And you've chosen the yellow for Ned, and I'll grab the pink, okay? So just give me this one. Okay, so what I want you to do now is tie it back together again, okay? It doesn't matter how you tie it, I don't really care. It needs to be a knot of some description. Okay, so are the ropes together? No, obviously not. I could put the rope like that and say they're together. Are they together? No, you just do like that, and so pick that back up again. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is show you how to magically make them come together. Okay, just using my senses, watching here in the center, like that. Wow, it just came together. You can grab that rope and pull it. Okay, it just came together, didn't it? Magically. But you know where something comes together magically? Something amazing can happen. It has a big effect. See this rope that you had in your hands before? Watch what happens to it. I just start making this rope just like this. I just make this rope, and you'll notice it's just getting bigger and bigger. It's expanding. The rope is expanding because it's made a connection. And you can see it just keeps going round and expands like that. And so this is the mystery. I use this to say, if you learn to connect to God, it's mysterious how you do that. This can happen to you too, especially to your heart. Your heart can just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And I love that mystery. How, first of all, to make the connection, bang, how's that happen? And then to make the expansion of our hearts and our lives because we have God with us. Round of applause for Ned. He's a magic man. Did you find it amazing? I hope so. You know, it started off with these two ropes, and it was in the hands of one of the spectators, and one of the spectators chose one of the ropes, and I was given one of the ropes, and the spectator had it. And then we looked at how is it possible for these ropes to connect to one another. I mean, logically, the only way is if you undo them, but somehow magically they linked to each other. And then you might remember that once they linked to each other, this one started to grow. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. What's that? What mystery of life does that point us towards? Well, at the heart of our Christian faith is love. You know, to learn to love is the essence. Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your mind, your soul, and your heart, and love your neighbour as yourself. Or love one another as I have loved you. It's the new commandment that he gave to us. And so a lot of the tricks are talking about love or pointing me towards the mystery of love. So one of the great mysteries is love. And it's going to be expressed over and over again in John's Gospel in the letter of St. John says God is love. And so we're going to come at this mystery in many ways. And this trick, it's pointing me towards the mystery of love, because if we're going to love someone, we really have to embrace the whole person. Remember in a previous trick, I talked about John Paul II's wisdom about love and learning to love not just attributes, but the full person. And this trick, like at the moment, is just loving the attributes for me. But then when somehow they can embrace each other, that's loving the whole person. And what's your experience of loving the whole person? There's a beautiful saying, the word intimacy. Intimacy means into me see, that I'm willing to open myself up and let you inside here, and you're willing to open yourself up and let me towards you as well. And that's the first part of the mystery, making that deeper connection into the total person. And that trick reminds me of that. Does it remind you of that? Maybe next time, or if you watch it again, it might remind you of that. Or each time you see the two ropes, you're seeing yourself and another person. And are you willing to go to that deeper level of love, of that deeper connection of intimacy? Let the person in to you, and you be willing to take the risk to go to the other person. And then the other part of this trick that I loved was the way in which it awakens us to the gift of loving. What was the gift? Remember, you were if I remember right, I was the pink and blue rope. And once we made that connection, it started to grow, and it expanded to at least twice the size of this. And that's the gift of love. The gift of love, letting God into us, will expand us, letting other people into us and us entering into others. It expands our hearts and our lives and brings such joy to us. And so this little trick might be simple, a lovely mystery, and reminding us about the mysteries of love. There are many questions about these mysteries, and we can come at it from many different angles. I mean, one of the questions is, how do you make that connection in real life? Okay, I can magically make the connection, but and one way I think that's a really helpful way is to know a book called The 5 Languages of Love. And I'm sure some people have heard of that book. And it gives 5 ways in which we can love another person. And it brings the idea that love is like a language. We think that we're all speaking the same language, but we're not. And like we know in normal languages, all the different languages of the world, if I speak another language and you can't understand it, it just goes straight over your head. And in the same way, there's different love languages. And if I speak my love language to you, it might not be your love language. And it goes straight past your heart. It doesn't connect. So what are some of the ways, the practical ways that lead us to loving each other and making that connection? And the best simple guide that I know are the 5 languages of love. You can look them up on the internet. They're words, physical touch, gift giving, time together, and I've left out one, but if I sat down, I'm sure I could find it. And so that's the magic that makes the connection, the 5 languages of love. And you have to learn, what is it that is another person's love language? You will have one of those languages, and it's like when we're little, we think everyone can speak our language. And then we get older and we realize, hey, not everyone understands our language. And we certainly don't understand others' languages. And it's the same with the love languages. And so we need to learn these other languages if we want to make connections to other people. This is such a secret for married couples, to learn the love language of your spouse and to speak that language, especially when your spouse is struggling. It's sort of like in life. In life, if we're in a very difficult situation, we love to speak our mother tongue. It's what's easiest. It's what's most natural. And it's the same for the love languages. The love language that is most natural to you is the one that will help you the most when you're struggling. And so I really encourage you, if you want to explore the mystery of what's the magic in real life, I would say those 5 love languages are the 5 magic words that lead us to other people and lead us deeper to ourselves as well. So I'd like to finish with a little scripture reading on love. Like I said before when I was exploring this topic, there are so many passages in scripture, but let me share with you from the second letter of St. John. There's only one chapter, so it's chapter 1, verse 5. John says, "I'm writing to remind you, dear friends, that we should love one another. This is not a new commandment, but we've been given this from the beginning. Love means doing what God has commanded us, and He has commanded us to love one another, just as you heard it from the beginning." God bless, and may you truly learn to love one another and love God.
Are you searching for purpose of life? Discover your true identity. Stay tuned to Shalom World.